wants to see Brent sew.
Wait, weren't you going to show off what you found in your Sharper Image magazine?
On the show.
No. We're not
Look at
getting
Chop the
rated.
chainsaw.
Anyway.
Okay, I'm going to do part of it now because you said it, Brent. Where is it? Oh, yeah.
I
Okay,
thought-
so you know,
Kids watching.
we're all getting, top down, please. We're all getting, oh, I can do this. We're all getting these Christmas catalogs in the mail these days. I got this wonderful Sharper Image in. Brent goes, Brenda's like, I got mine too, but I didn't look at it. I'm like, I see what's on the cover of this thing, and my first reaction is that for real? Is there really an electric knife that looks like a chainsaw for my turkey? That was enough for me to flip through the catalog.
Why would you get it?
Well, I just want, so first discussion was, what do you think of these pillows? Do you think they're comfortable? No, I don't think they are, and I could make them. I mean, this is literally what we're doing.
Was that a lighted hairbrush?
Oh, what's that I said? Sharper Image? I'm like, oh my God, there it is, it's real. It's real. It's a mere $9.99. And if you want, you can get that other massager thing, all from Sharper Image. One-stop shopping. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh my God. I'll never be the same. I know.
Traumatized.
And just so you know, it lasts 4 hours on one charge and it's waterproof.
Well, that's a
The
pretty...
chainsaw!
I was going to say, that's a pretty good chainsaw. So yes, next week we'll have some more interesting historical facts. So there's some stuff I wanted to cover.
Oh my
but
God.
it gets cool.
I know.
Anyway,
It is
we'll turn it over to you for whatever we're going to make here.
Well,
You're going to make me sew?
yeah, I've been all over the place. Surprise,
have.
surprise.
We say that about you all.
I know, but guess what, people?
So Jean, are you guys going online for you or John?
Can we do a top down? I'm going. I know. I didn't tell you how much it was, but it's pretty in pink. Years ago.
Just so you know, your granddaughter's on now.
Hi, Adriana. Nothing. No harm, no foul. Chainsaws for turkeys. Many years ago, I think this is probably one of the first things I ever quoted. And embroidered. I did all this fancy red work. I did all this quilting.
Did you pre-wash?
I pieced it. No, I don't pre-wash anything.
Well, no, the reason I ask is because it's been washed since, right?
It has definitely been washed.
And so you see how you kind of have that texture there?
Yeah.
That is one of the benefits of not pre-washing.
Okay, but it's a placemat.
I know.
So I'm not liking it. Plus, I went through all the work to put, and look, this is before I knew how to miter my corners. See, they aren't even mitered.
Well, I think it adds to the zigzag stitch you were using. So
Hours and hours and hours into this, okay? I made, 20 of these for Christmas Eve. Every one of them had a different design on it, all right? They looked beautiful till I washed them. And then I'm like, ugh. Plus they're dated. Let's be honest, they're dated now.
that's so 2010.
I think it was more like 2001.
Oh,
But
God.
anyway,
The nerve.
Right?
then I start watching some of these videos where they're not using batting. They're using soft and stable. What? I said, what? And when it washes, it comes out beautiful. It doesn't shrink like the batting does. It retains its shape. And not only that, it's cushier. And not only that, it protects your table and whatnot better than just batting does.
Why is that?
Because of the material, soft and stable. You go on their website, it's part of whatever it is. They tout their horn about it being
Better than batting to
yeah.
protect your table?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's this stuff. From heat. Yeah, from heat is what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
okay. I was
Yeah,
just wondering,
from heat.
when you say protect your table better,
So
do
it's
you
this
put
stuff.
some
It's like
pledge in it?
we've been using it for bags. Well, Brenda uses it for bags. Becky's just starting using it for bags. But a couple weeks ago, I quilted it for the first time, and I was like amazed.
Oh, what's up nice?
Because it quilts up beautifully. All right. So I start watching this stuff, and I see them taking the soft and stable, and They're doing all sorts of fancy things like Quilt As You Go, table runners, and placemats. And I'm like, oh, that's cool, but I still hate having to bind a placemat. What do we have here?
It looks like it hasn't been bound.
It is not bound. And it is made with soft and stable. And to be fun, I used my blue tiles and quilted this piece.
I was noticing that.
You did notice that, didn't you? You want to know how I make it?
Am I gonna?
And this is a beautiful flange. You know, I love a pretty flange. And check out the mitered corners.
That's some pretty fanciness right there.
Now, picture, you can make this any size you want. You can put anything you want in the middle. The sky's the limit. You could even use a jelly roll and strip it if you wanted to. Whatever's your fancy.
Okay.
Now, this is for the kitchen table, so it's cottony. But Brent, do you remember this fabric line?
Yeah, that's a San Gervais'.
It came from here.
It
So
was a Moda collection.
It is a Moda collection, seasoned up.
Is it Season's Greeting? No, that's
Seasoned up.
Seasoned Up.
Look at this, Brent. You're going to laugh. I go shopping at Brent's place.
I remember all that
And
stuff.
this is in the stash. This is in my stash. Look at how nice these are going to be. Isn't that crazy?
Those are like from years ago.
I know, but
That's
they're
like
perfect.
before Mom abandoned me.
But they're perfect, right? They are. They're
They are.
perfect for my tablescape. And remember they had these panels?
Yep.
Do you remember this?
I remember
I bet
this-
you some of you still have some in your stash.
I
and you're
remember
not
those
admitting
panels.
to.
Ronnie does.
No, Ronnie
Look
definitely does.
Look at.
I remember
Tell
those
me this
panels.
tablescape isn't going to be cute as a button. Look.
And I love and
With all these matching placemats? Come on. Hey. I'm going to show you because I'm
see
very
that
excited
you can tell
about
that
it.
that's before I was left alone to order things.
That's why we're trying to help you.
I'm just saying the squirrels just wouldn't have worked for me. I'd be like,
But,
hey, no.
do you remember this stuff?
I loved that stuff. I was
You remember this stuff?
Artisan Spirit from Northcott, yes.
Oh, and people, look at this. This is actually a different line, but it's metallic, so it's going in here. Look. Ah, yeah, dining room. That be dining room. Is it?
The problem with that
right?
as a dining room, that's going to suffer from the what were you thinking problem in about 4 years.
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, it's going to be beautiful. Beautiful. Anyway,
Me
so
and my brother helping a guy move once.
digging out my stash.
An old Jewish lawyer
All stuff
from
out
New York.
here.
And
Years
my
and
brother
years ago.
my brother summed up his
Okay.
house as
Get my
gangster
notes.
chic. It was
Gangster
awesome.
chic.
It was like sometimes
Okay.
in the 70s with like deer heads on the wall and the shag carpeting. It was awesome.
Okay, Brent, we got to get you moving.
Okay.
We got to get you moving. Okay. So,
Okay.
I have this.
All right.
This is my soft and stable. I made mine 13 by 16 and a half. Obviously, you can make any size you want. I was trying to also stay back quarter friendly. So if somebody wants to do through back quarters, this is in it. So soft and stable comes in these bags. Put it through the dryer. Beep, beep. Cut it 13 by 16 and a half. Got that?
Yes, 13 by 16 and a half. It will not be in show notes, but we just said it.
Then I cut another piece for my front. This is the front, the same size as my soft and stable. See?
And you just put it on top.
Right.
13 by 16.
13 by
16 and a half.
13 by 16 and a half, or whatever size you want. And then, if you want to quilt it,
Right there.
or
Is
do
that what you're looking at, Lynn?
if you want to quilt it or do something special to it, feel free. Here's what I do.
Glue. Do kids still eat glue?
If you have a directional print like I'm using on the back, make sure it matches the front.
So
I'm
are
using-
you putting sweet and sour sauce on your cardboard, Eddie?
Whoops. It doesn't have to be perfect
That
either
was
because
meant
there's
as a
wiggle
joke.
room. So Brent, now what I did on mine,
Oh, so it doesn't need to be perfect is what you just said?
well, because there's wiggle room.
Okay.
What I did, and then I always dry the glue.
Question for you on soft and stable.
Because I don't like, if I'm going to quilt this now, this is ready to quilt.
Yeah, no, is
Right
soft and
now.
is soft and stable going to be sensitive to high heat ironing? Like, will it melt it?
No.
Okay. Okay. Just curious.
That's on high heat.
I just want to make sure because, like I said,
Fix it. Okay, so then I cut another piece. I wanted my back to match my front, so I used the same fabric, but you don't have to. All I say is, and it's an inch bigger all the way around, is when I go to put it on, see how my leaves are like
yeah.
this way? You don't want it to, you don't want them to not, like that would be wrong if you turned it over.
What do you, I'm not
Because
sure.
these leaves are going down, and those leaves are going up, so you just want to be aware if you use a direction of
I
plant,
guess
that they're going in the same direction.
it's on the other side.
Well, I will see it.
You know, it reminds me of like Super
So-
Mario's warp zones there when you had to climb the vines.
So just to give you a visual of what the difference is, because you could make it any size you want. See how I have like a half an inch all the way around
Mm-hmm.
on my back. It's a half inch bigger, give or take. So you can pump that up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does it have to be exactly, or just give or take, close, half an inch is close enough?
Half an inch is close enough.
Okay, see, I'm liking your
That's- I
measurements.
know.
Close enough is how I operate.
These are my flange strips, okay? My flange strips are 1 1/4 inches wide. They are the same size as my backing height and my backing width. See
Okay,
that?
yeah.
So whatever you choose for this, in my case, I wrote this down. In my case, it was 17.5 inches, so that's what that is.
So that would be exactly a half inch bigger on each side,
Yep,
because it's
and
an
this-
inch overall.
Right, and this one I did 14 inches. They're 1 1/4 inches, and all I did, I definitely would use Best Press, yeah, or something like that for starch, and I simply pressed them in half. These are my border stripes. Just to remind everybody, here's the front, here's the back, here is my flange, here are my borders.
Yeah, but does anybody know, now flip it over, so our viewers can see both, would anybody know that the leaves are not going in the right direction?
Yes.
Okay.
So Brent, what I want you to do is I want you to take my border strips.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to take your flange.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to put raw edges together, and you're going to stitch 1/4 inch down.
1/4 inch.
1/4 inch.
Quarter.
1/4 inch. And the nice thing about this project is there is lots of wiggle room. So, I mean, if you can make any size you want.
I forgot the foot, so I'm push button
Everything-
sewing. So
every-
that's my excuse right now.
Everything is based on what you cut this at. But the good news is you can cut this smaller or larger as you go. It's no big deal. So I'm lining these up so he can do these all at 1/4 inch. As best as Brent can do. While he's doing that, I want to show you, I rounded my corners. You don't have to, but I don't like it when the corners are bunchy. And this is the soft and stable's got some thickness to it. So if you don't round them and you do the turning, you might not, well, you don't have to. You can leave them straight. If you want to round them like I did.
All right, I want
I-
to just point something out
like
real
this
quick for
tri-
newbies. Hey, Eddie, can you go back to here? Because people have this question all the time. So I've just finished this strip. I am not going
Yes, Adriana, congratulations.
I am-
Braces off.
I am not going to
Caramel putty.
I am not going to cut that. I'm leaving that in there as I load my next strip in. This is what they call chain stitching.
Oh, yes.
I have
Do
people
you
that
backstitch between?
I don't.
I do.
Because well, you're going to put 1/4 inch in the other direction usually, so you don't need to.
Well, these are mitered.
Okay, maybe.
But
that-
that's,
so-
well, no, so yes, you are. You're still stitching.
So
over
when
it.
you hear somebody talk about chain stitching, all they're doing is they're not cutting this piece when they start feeding the next one through. You're just going to keep everything going without cutting your thread. I just wanted to throw that out there because I know that whenever I say, hey, just chain stitches, some people look at me like I got a third head, so or a second head, I guess, or a third eye. I don't know.
Okay. If you want to round your corners, Brenda taught me this. This is a kitchen thing. I don't know. Cut something. I don't know because I never used it. Look, it's like a plastic on. But anyway, you basically just need a round thing. You put it in the corner. You might have fancy circle templates. I don't know. But you just draw and then cut.
Mugs work
That
good too.
rounds your corners. But tonight we'll probably keep them straight because, you know. But I like them rounded. I don't know. They're soft. Okay, so he's doing that. The next step, now if I were going to quilt this, I could put this in very easily right now. And I quilted it with blue tiles and I used a 6x8 and an 8x8 on it. And quilted this up knowing that it was going to go inside here. So guess what? It fit in the frame quite easily. And I could quilt whatever I wanted in it.
You quilt it before or after you sew it together?
I quilted it right now, right like this, when it was just a piece of fabric on top of soft and stable. So if I were going to embroider something, this is the time I would do it. If I were going to do anything, this is the time I would do it before I put the frame around it. It's just easier in my opinion. Almost done.
I got two of them done.
Good. I'm going to show you what to do
I'm
next.
not going super fast because I
That's
don't
right.
want you to yell at me.
I
want
will
you to
be
be like,
quilting this.
why are they
We're going to
so
pretend I quilted
crooked?
that.
Oh, they're crooked. Oh.
No, I want to show you. I want to show you how cool that flange and how easy it is. Oh, I'm sorry. Can someone give me a ruler with a 45-degree on it, please?
45 de grados. That's the Spanish.
I have no idea.
I just was,
And
you know,
Lou is your
I just
friend
made it
on this
bilingual.
project. Lou is your friend. Oh, yeah, I rate highly. Look at the ruler I'm getting, folks.
Is that a bad thing or a good thing? You didn't sound very impressed
Is
by.
this, did someone make a natural curve cut on here?
When did that happen?
Nice little curl cut.
That's what. Oh,
So let's not look at gift horse in the mouth.
Ugh. They could have at least made it a true.
it's like some sort of ghetto ruler. It's like
Give me
we
some-
got such a level of production on
While
this.
you're
We've
so-
got like, hey, let's just use the
I'm going
ghettoest
to show
ruler we
you the
can
next.
find.
I'm going to show them the next step while you're finishing up, okay?
You can dress a room outside.
Okay. So after
My golf balls match my outfit, but my ruler looks like.
after they come off the sewing machine, this is, by the way, how I do flange with my binding too. I like a little flange. If it was a binding flange, I probably would make it narrower. But what you do is you simply fold it so that when you look at this, the seam is going towards the border. So what I end up with is a nice, pretty little flange. And that gives me a place to stitch in the ditch.
Oh.
Can you put those apart?
I did.
So you don't have any little, cucky stitches. So it's just like that. Now, after you iron all of them, we have to miter our borders. Everybody know how to miter borders? Brenda does. Because she talks out loud when she's doing it just like I do. Okay, we're going to show you how easy they are to do. Because they really do dress up
Oh yeah.
the placemat.
She is bragging, she's got 2 rulers just like that one, so.
That's actually not a bad idea because
Right.
who's going to take it? It's like back when I used to have a diesel rabbit. Nobody
Okay.
would steal a diesel rabbit. You leave that thing
So
on.
what I'm going to do is just straighten out this edge a little bit. Just because.
That head didn't straighten anything on that ruler.
God.
One side is very good.
This is what I mean about wiggle room, though, Brent. Even though it's not
I think
perfect.
there's some lesson in life about that.
You know,
if you get till
you
17.
didn't have to use any pins or anything. I'm not
No.
fretting over that. See, isn't that cool?
I'm really enjoying this
I'm
project
not
because
fretting
it's,
over it because I'm like, yeah.
you're not measuring anything. You're just kind of throwing stuff together.
Well,
This
I
is my kind of
measured when I
project.
cut it out. But now here's the beauty. Here's how easy it is to. Here's how easy it is to do mitered corners. Picture this as the top border, right? Brent, you know.
I don't know.
This is the
Every
top
time
border.
I try to do miters, I
This
have
is
to
going to be
rethink
my.
them.
This is going to be my side border, right?
Mhm.
Running down like. But I want it to be mitered, right?
Yep.
So that means I'm going to sew right sides together. Now this is what always gets me. Do I go this way or do I go that way? Well, think of it this way. I want to turn it down like this when I'm done.
Mhm.
Right? I actually do this every time before I draw my miter line because
Oh, you know how I always miter it?
forget.
And this is why I struggle with mitering. I actually cut the angle before I
No,
sew it.
we're not cutting. We're not cutting anything till you are happy with
I understand it now. That's why I've
miters.
always struggled with miters because
So
I
what
will
I'm going
cut
to do,
that.
and you're going to love me for this, but I'm telling you, this is a secret. Over here, I know I'll be cutting some off,
Yeah.
right?
So you're gonna tag it with some glue, okay?
I'm going to go, no pins. I just put my glue on there. That's washable Elmer's glue, by the way, folks. And as soon as you hit it with an iron,
Is it tasty like
it's
school
it's
glue?
not gummy, so it's not. If you should go through it with your needle, it's not going to gum up your needle. Blah blah blah. Okay. Oh, I just ironed on my cutting mat again. Holy tamale! How many times do I do that?
Is that bad?
It's not good for the cutting mat. That's what warps them. How do I know? I iron on my cutting mats. But it was just dry glue. So now I've just told you I wanted to flip like this. So I need to draw a 45 from here to here for you to sew. Correct?
Yes.
All right, so on my ruler, there's a 45-degree line.
There's also on a lot of rulers 30 and 60 lines.
There is, but
Make
tonight
sure you
what
grab
we
the
need is
45.
45. What we need, it says 45 right there. That's the one we need. Now, if I line that up with the bottom, I can go this way. Nope, I can't go that way. Like this. I'm lining it up with the bottom of my strip, like that.
Yep.
But I also have to line it up with the end point. Just like that, right? Because I told you I have to go this way so it can flip down. I'm going to draw. I'm using a friction pen. You can. This isn't going to show, so I don't care what you do it with.
Friction pens, be careful with those on dark fabric. They will bleach when you dry them out.
Well, it's underneath.
I know, I'm just saying.
So, Brent,
throwing that out
now
there.
you're going to use your regular foot, and you're going to just do this line from
Yep.
here to here. And what's going to happen, see, I've got glue there for you. Probably more glue
You
than
gotta-
I needed. Oh, I'm sorry. What's going to happen after he sews is it's going to be able to flip back like that. And I'm
And-
going to get
and-
another one ready for
And
you.
we're not worried about, we're going to sew directly on the line. We don't care about,
Yeah, if you want to go a little smidgen to the inside of it, but for this project,
but I'm just saying it's not, there's no quarter inch is what I'm saying.
no.
We're just
you're
doing a
going
straight.
Right. Okay. Don't iron me on that. I'm going to get another one ready for you. So again, to review the flange, all we did was sew on with a 1/4 inch. If you wanted to get really fancy, you could put cording in here. Too much for a placemat for my taste. I got too many of these to make. But this is how I would do the same thing with a flange on a quilt, though. Same exact thing. Except I probably would do it smaller. How's it look, Brent?
It looks professional.
Let's take a peek, because my thing is always take a peek before you cut. Oh, Brent. Whoa. Whoa, people, look.
Yeah, but the glue looks like you got snot on it.
Well, it'll come out. It'll wash
Okay,
off.
I'm just,
I got a little heavy with my glue. But then, so I press to one side, and then I pop the glue. See, the glue just pops open. I'm not going to cut yet. I like to press open before I cut. It's easier to press open with a bigger wad of material. And you want these seams to be flat. Okay, we'll cut when we're all done. Look at that, Brent.
look at that. Almost like I know what I was doing.
I know. So, I know. I'm telling you, this is easy stuff. Now let's get you going this way, okay?
Yeah.
So what do you think you're going to do?
You're gonna...
Tell me how I'm going to press it. You tell me how I'm going to cut that one.
Oh, I'm gonna lay it down so I can visualize it.
See, that's what I have to do too. All right.
Well, the corner...
So,
you're
we
coming
know
from
when
this
I'm
corner
done.
here because
Well,
that's...
you know when I'm done, I want to be going down here, right?
Yeah.
So that means, watch what's happening. So that means what?
Nope. Yeah.
Okay. Does everybody get that? I can't do it without visualizing it either. Okay, so we know this is where we can use our glue. Do you
So look-
notice no pins, Brent?
Yeah, like
I will-
I have a pin allergy, so I'm very excited
I'll be
about
nicer with
this.
the glue this time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, there is a time when I do use pins, but
And a ruler and a.
don't look. The short iron. Okay, so this time I'm going to do my 45-degree. And how did I want it to go, Brent?
We want it to go that way.
Right, because we want it to pull down
Pull
this
down,
way. So I
yes.
have to find my 45, and this time, see, that would be wrong.
That would end badly.
That would be ending up with it going that way, right?
Yeah, it would just be like doing a
It would
binder
go
or
that
something,
way.
yeah.
Actually, it would go that way. So that's not what we want. So what do we have to do, Brent? turn the ruler around, clear the crap out of the way, lining up the
See,
45
it comes in
degree.
handy that the top's broken. It's
No,
not
it's too big a ruler for this table. I'm lining up the 45 degree. Can I mind the camera? Yep. I'm lining up the 45 degree with the top of my border, right, into my corner, right? We agreed it went that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing says it's right, but we agreed.
No, if we agree, that's a
Good
perk. I'm drawing a line for you to sew on.
Yay,
That
for
easy.
me. Okay.
Sew on that line. Is there a smaller ruler with a 45 where I knock everything on the ground? I do need a 45. If I have to keep using this, I will. We only got.
Yeah, that's probably easier.
Thank you, ma'am. Now let's see how he did, folks. See if he can be 2 for 2. You think you're 2 for 2, Brent?
Of course I'm 2 for 2.
Let's see.
I got mad skills.
Oh my God, Brent, it's beautiful.
It is gorgeous. Look
Look.
at how wonderful.
Look. And then I always press from the front, press it over to the side, and then come over here. And I just find it easier to get a flatter open seam when it's something this big. Pop my glue. See, isn't that cool how that glue just pops?
It pops.
Did its job, and now we're done with it. And that looks really nice. Okay, we're going to 2 more of these to do, and then you'll start to see the magic.
I can't wait.
Okay, so this is the bottom, right?
Yep.
So if we're looking at the bottom,
Yeah, it is.
right?
Yeah.
See how I visualize?
Yeah.
So now I know where my 45 needs to be, like this.
Yep. I'm just looking at the other corner and matching it.
You'll see.
I know. I'm just saying.
So again, outside here, I know I'm not going to need. So I'm gluing that puppy. Drying my glue. Okay, and then, so we agreed, where was your 45, Brent?
Our 45 is gonna go that way.
Yep. So we're going to line this. This is much easier. Thank you, Danny. So we're going to line this up with this here, right? I have a
Yeah.
straight line against here.
Yep.
And now I'm going to draw a line for you to sew on.
And the easy angle is one of my favorite tools for doing any sort of 45.
Yeah, Brenda should have given me that. Oh, can you see that?
I can see that good enough. Yeah.
You can?
I
Okay.
can. My incredible eyes.
So far we've used some soft and stable, glue stick, a few pieces of fabric. Could definitely use fat quarters.
No
I
pins. No pins.
No,
I'm very excited
I
about
said
that.
fat quarters because some of us got some fat quarters in that I thought would look good in placemats. They had
My
peppers,
fingers look huge on the screen.
peppers
Eddie.
and everything in them. I thought it was really cool, and I said, "Oh, that's got placemat written
Peppers.
all over it."
I got a dog named
Peppers.
Pepper.
Let's see, Brent. Did you think you could make that beautiful?
I am impressed. I really, like I said,
Did you
I
think-
struggle with miter corners.
Is that gorgeous?
It looks
And
fantastic.
it's got a flange in it too, right?
Yeah.
Don't be scared of it. Look how easy it is, right? And
Yeah.
the last one, you know, sometimes people have to think a little bit, but here we go. Get rid of this. Okay, so now look at, do you see what we're building here?
Is the mic picking up any of the?
We're building a beautiful frame, right?
Oh.
So Brent, now what do you got to do?
We're gonna put that over there and do the thing.
We're going to go over here,
Yeah.
and when you're done, you want it to go down
Yeah.
here. You want it to go down here, right?
Yeah.
Is that hard?
It's not hard at
It's
all.
not hard
You make
at
it look
all.
so easy.
It's not hard at all.
It's so simple. What's that? When the pieces are all cut?
Yeah, but I told you, they're strips. They're strips.
They're stripped, yeah.
They're strips.
But you already have the length and stuff figured out.
I just cut strips and then cut the length according to the soft and stable. Remember?
Yeah.
Cut the soft and stable. Then I.
Yeah. I
Well,
remember.
Danny, it's a fist fast one. And then everything at the back and all the other pieces were an inch bigger. That was it.
Yeah. No,
Okay, so now I'm going to straighten this one out a little bit, okay? Before we make a corner. But see what I mean about I'm not being that fancy?
I thinking maybe
I got wiggle room.
I'm impressed with how lenient you're being with this. I want to say your therapy's working out.
Well, that's because if it doesn't come out, it's Brent's fault.
That's the wrong way.
What?
That's the wrong way.
Yep.
Oh, Eddie, you caught me!
See?
I was just testing y'all.
The cardboard's not rotting. His
Eddie's
brain.
the only one paying attention. Well, that's the beauty of a friction pen. Shh. Just quickly. It takes a lot of ironing to warp it. If it warps, I'll replace it. They should make it ironable.
Maybe that's the next $1
Do
million
you
idea.
see what we're doing though? Do you see what we're doing?
I see that we're making like a picture frame.
Uh-huh. We are. So now he's got the hardest part is done. That was the hardest part, your mitered corners.
That was it.
That was it.
My
And
work
I
here is
didn't
done.
No, but that wasn't hard, was it?
Oh no, it wasn't.
And it came out good, didn't it?
It
Pop
looks
the glue,
fantastic.
just pop the
It
glue.
makes it look like I know what I'm doing,
You will after this.
and so will our viewers. What's
Okay.
our viewer count up to? Are we at 350
So
yet?
this is when I do go, and I'm just, if you want to get really fancy, you get a ruler out and use your
Go a little
cutter.
bit more that way.
Cutter, but for me and tonight, this is just fine and dandy. I'm just cutting this excess up. We know our miters are good. I'm just getting rid of this extra junk.
And yeah, if you really cared about your seam allowance, you
You
could
put
measure
a
it out.
ruler
Yeah.
down, use your cutter.
But I mean, this is just a placemat. You're gonna get it full of gravy and
Well, this isn't going to show
Stain,
either.
yeah,
This isn't going to
so-
show at all. So, I mean, truthfully, on mine, I took the ruler and did a 1/4 inch. Blah, blah,
of
blah,
course
blah.
you did. Because
I don't want to move my
it had to
mat
match
again.
your golf outfit, so
I
you had
know. Okay, this is the piece we cut for the back.
to. Yes.
Okay, remember this was about an inch higher and an
Yeah.
inch wider than our soft and stable.
Yes.
Magic. Right sides together, Brent. You can either use glue or pins. And again, here's where I'm not picky. See how it's a little coming up a little too short over here?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. We're going to whack that off.
I'm gonna whack it off.
Now, you can use glue on this stage, but I don't like to use that purple glue on this stage because you saw how it shows up if I get it out of the seam line. If I had my other smaller glue, I would definitely go for that. But what I want to do is I want to do the top and the bottom, and I'm going to line up.
One side.
Yeah. Now, the reason I have a little extra here is because of the mitered seams. But I'd rather have a little extra to work with when I'm doing the miters and just cut it off after. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I mean, if you wanted to get minus a 1/4 of an inch, well, it's not even a 1/4 inch, it's more like 3/8 of an inch if you do the math. I don't want to bother with that. I want my frame to tell me what size it is.
So is 3/8 of an inch closer to a half or closer to a 1/4 inch?
It's right in the middle. You're just being a funny man.
Smart ass, I believe.
So here's where you would love this project because I don't have to be exact. I've got thickness to my soft and stable. It's squishy. What a crowd. I am using my ruler, but you see, Brent, even if it's not exactly square, I don't even care.
So am I going 1/4 inch on that?
You are. You're going to go all the way around, a 1/4 an inch, all the way around,
Quarter.
a 1/4 of an inch. Do
And now
y'all see what's happening?
And we're sewing
It's
that
like
to the back, correct?
the border is being sewed to the back.
I think I see how this is going to go together,
Isn't
and
that
I'm
kinda
very.
cool?
I never would have thought of this.
Isn't it
It's
cool?
very fascinating.
Think
Do
of
you
how,
see it yet, Danny?
Think of how
Do
many.
you see it,
You're
Lynn?
going to see it in 2 seconds.
It's magical.
And there's so many things you can do with this idea.
I'm thinking there is.
And there's no binding. quarter inch all the way around.
Si, senor.
Try not to go over my hands. And then, let's see, we're on the home stretch because we didn't quilt it. I might have to grab this thing. I don't know if
I know, my allergy.
Well, you could have used glue. I wouldn't use this thick glue. I would use my,
What if we used
my little
fusible thread?
we haven't sewed anything yet. though,
Well, we
so-
could have run a quarter-inch fusible thread seam.
We could have, but I would have probably just taken my sew line, which is, you can use this if you do the edge like this, you know, like that, like that. You could do
Yeah, you're not upward. People could see you do it like that.
the edge, you could kind of, if you stick this on this edge, you could do it like that, and certainly, and then you have no pins. You're going to see me use, what? Oh, the Wonder Clips. But this is just thin. There's nothing in there. It's fabric and fabric. Now keep in mind that this piece here, you've either, you could have sewed it down, you could have gone around the edge, you can zigzag it if you want to flatten the edges.
Remind me, is that the back?
This is the front. You won't be in 2 seconds. You'll be like, woo!
You're gonna be like, "What did I just witness?"
Woo!
You're like, "What?
Magic! And the beauty, you can do this with batting as well. It doesn't, you don't have to use the soft and sable, but I really like it. I like the feel of it. I like how it quilts, and you know, I quilted mine up. I like how it looks. Here's your- After I wash it, I really like how it looks. It doesn't go.
What if you pre-wash your side?
That would help.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna.
Okay, but you could.
I really like this, and I can see the Taylor runner. It's just a longer piece of soft and stable. And it's, you know, it's prettier. I'm sorry, it just feels good.
No, I bet it is.
Another use for soft and stable. He's zooming. He's zooming. He knows what's happening. He's on the
Yeah,
home
you're all like
stretch.
waiting for me, and I'm feeling
This is
some
when
pressure.
this is where you're all gonna go, what? You're basically making a pillowcase.
With no creamy center.
I can see that in my head, but I can't see how it's gonna come out right.
Why?
see
Because
exact-
Brent's making it?
No, because I just don't.
I see exactly what she's gonna do, and that's why I'm not worried about how I'm making it, because there's some wiggle room in there.
Now it is easier to do the final step if you have done some sewing on this, just because it's easier to fit it all together. If this is, I just used glue, but I'm sticking with the glue just to show you. It can
Yeah, just
work.
quick, yeah.
It can work with just glue. But I'm thinking I need to put those little animals on here. Those cute little animals.
But
No, the one in the panel.
but my question though.
No, you know what I really wanted to quilt on is
But if you were to quilt on that
Aprons.
now, the quilting doesn't go all the way through to the back.
right. I didn't want it. I didn't use it. I didn't.
But I'm just saying that would be a consideration.
You could quilt it at the end,
Yes, but if you quilted it now,
but
it
it's
wouldn't-
easy
yeah.
now because I got all this wiggle room.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you can quilt it now, but that quilting isn't going to
No.
stitch the back to it.
No, what happened on this is you'll see when we're done with that, I stitched
Yeah, the stitch in the
f-
ditch.
in
Yeah.
the flange
Yep.
here, and then I stitched top stitched.
Yeah,
around
but and
the
I guess
edge.
so that's a good
And
example. But
that's-
you can see that
But
we've
I
got,
did not quilt.
so the
the
quilting
back.
she did first is here,
Yes.
but you're not going to see that quilting on the back
Nope.
because you quilted it first. You'd
I
have to, if
did.
you wanted to see it come all the way through, you'd have to do that last.
Right, and you could.
Yeah.
You could, but I kind of liked the look of it
Yeah,
in
no,
the frame,
I
so
like it
that's
too.
why I went with that. But- okay, so Brent, let's just clip some corners here. 'Cause
And
we-
if we had done rounded corners, we would have
yeah,
to do.
if I had done rounded corners, yeah, I wouldn't be clipping. That's another reason I like rounded corners, is they just go around. But okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this right side out. See, I hate poking straight corners.
Oh, I get it.
No comments from the gallery about poking straight corners?
I really prefer rounded corners. It's just easier. I'm not. Now I have to like get a nice pokey corner.
And now I'm wishing I had backstitched some of those because you're really hammering on them.
Oh, I'll be nice. Okay, then the next thing. Look what I got.
I saw it when I was pouring this in here.
Isn't that cool?
And then you're just gonna stuff the top inside there and
Yeah.
flip it down and sew the
Yeah.
and sew around the flange. Yeah.
I'm pressing a little.
I've actually seen this before. I never even, I do amazing guys.
You could put like your family photo in there because it's like a little frame.
Well, just so you know, that's not so far from
Yeah, if you have like printed
I
fabric.
went and bought some polyester fabric that can go through the sublimation printer, the sublimation printer. That stuff prints like a picture.
So you could get like a little picture of Yoda in there and make yourself a little
You
Yoda
could-
pillow.
Well, I was thinking my family, but
Picture
yeah.
of everybody put their plate on their face. I don't know. I think that would be weird.
It was one. I was doing the
Then you
same
wouldn't be-
family photo for
You wouldn't-
everybody.
Yeah, but you wouldn't
You
need
know-
name tags that like you know how you get the little place tags?
All Dana
you
would
could just
have
like
is dogs on her.
No, but you know how you have like the place tags? You could just have like the face on the placemat, like that's where you're sitting.
So now I have this frame. Now now think about it. Think about it. I could use this frame on any placemat. Anything. Something I've embroidered. Something I've
Yeah.
appliqued. All I did was make a frame for it to slide into.
And then you're just gonna stick it in there, just do a stitch in the ditch on the flange, and you're done.
Yeah. Well, I also went around the edge, but
Yeah.
now this is where I always check this too. Again, remember I said lots of wiggle room? I know this is the size of my back now. This is my finished size of my back, right? This is what I'm going to put in it. So if I am heavy-handed, like you apparently are a little bit, but I got lots of wiggle room, I can just cut it off. See what I'm doing, Brent? I don't want to stuff. That's a little here,
Yeah.
a little there. I'm not going to unstitch anything. I'm just going to shave a little bit off of this. Nobody's going to know.
Well, everybody wants
Yeah, but guess what? They're probably going to shave stuff off too because, everybody's a little different sewer. I mean, I didn't have to do this on mine, but I was prepared. Well, this just happens.
Well,
it happens.
I was doing this so people would see how to be successful. If I was perfect at it, you wouldn't get to learn as much.
So I'm just lining my ruler up. I'm shaving off a hunk. That's all on two sides. That's it. All's good. We're happy, right?
Sure.
And now this goes inside here. Now again, I want my leaves to match my back. I know you don't care. but
So
I do.
why did you care about it in the beginning? You couldn't make that adjustment now. Flip it over or whatnot.
I don't know, because I'm weird like that.
Okay. You felt
Yeah,
like
this is why I do back stitch.
Yeah, I could see when you started. Yeah.
Yeah,
On this one, I could see where that makes sense.
Yeah. Typically, if I'm not quilting, I'm tacking.
Yeah.
Back tacking.
Well, I was thinking in terms of piecing. I usually don't.
That's okay, because we'll still be able to fix that
Yeah.
before it goes. But I'm basically just shoving this in there. If this was already sewed, it goes
it's
in
going
much
along easy,
easier
yeah.
than this. What I'm trying. Jeepers. Okay, sure, it's easy to get in there.
I'm also thinking with the rounded corners, it might be easier
It is
too.
easier with the rounded corners, absolutely. So maybe I should.
I think it's just
It could just be you too, Becky. It could just be that you don't, it's the retrograde Mercury or whatever.
I thought we were over that. Okay.
Some things
So
just never
now,
leave.
that's still not too bad to get in there. We have all the time. But now I think you can easily see what I would do is I would
Yep.
Just glue these down, seriously. Get
Yep.
my glue. I did take a ruler and make these edges look as straight as I could
Yep.
before I put the glue. I would definitely recommend back tacking because I'm not going to put this together because I want to go and fix that.
Now,
And I'm probably going to round my
is
corners.
Jean's
so I can use
Z
it.
like, oh, I'm falling asleep because it's that lame?
Oh, really?
Oh, geez, Jean, she's just harsh.
Okay. Well, there it is.
But there it is, yeah. It's pretty straightforward because from there you're gonna
You
sew
do
around the
whatever
edges
you
a couple
want,
times and away you
yeah.
go. You do anything you want there.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's got potential.
I think it's pretty cool. And I didn't have to put any binding on it.
Wait, this is for you. I wanna wait for us.
Anyway,
Okay, so
is
that's
that
it. That was it. That was
I liked it. Like I said, from there it's pretty straightforward how to do it from there. I think that's I like that. That's a fun way to do it.
I think it's pretty cool, and I love soft and stable
Yeah.
more than batting. But you can use
Yeah, definitely for a placemat, I think soft and stable is way better.
But
And
that's
if you're gonna make a bunch of them too, you could just whip out a bunch of frames and then
Well, that's-
stuff them,
that's it.
kind of assembly
Yeah.
line it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and that's
cool.
it.
Very good.
Wow. I mean, not nearly as cool as my sewing history, but you know,
That's all I got.
I thought you were gonna pick that up and throw it at me.
No, I'm making sure I turned it out. That's all I got. That's all I
Anyway.
got.
Anyway.
Sorry, Jean.
Sometimes I feel like I'm reading half a conversation. Anyway,
Yeah.
oh wow, look at that hair. You know, I looked at myself in the mirror this morning. I didn't realize how bad I looked. It must have been early. I got the beard going on. I'm not sure if it makes me look wise, right? Anyhow. Anyway, thanks for watching and putting up with us for another evening. I hope you all enjoyed it. Like, share, subscribe, and tell your friends about us. I don't know why you do that, but you could. But anyway, thanks for joining us. We
Oh,
have a good
man.
time, and we're glad you all tuned in for this. Sew on and be excellent to each other.
Woohoo!
Yeah.